Today I'm going to share with you my meal prep for the week. Now what I like to do for my lunches and my breakfasts is I like to keep them for $15 or under. Now if you're wondering what I'm doing for breakfast this week, I'm just having regular plain oatmeal, nothing crazy, nothing fancy, but I typically have 2 lunches throughout the day, and my lunches cost me less than $10, and I'll go through all of the costs throughout the video. I have little inlays so you can see my prices, and yes, I know prices vary region to region, state to state, country to country, so these are just my prices and what I work with and what I try to do every single week. So let's jump in to the first of 2 recipes for today. I also find it really helpful when I add the ingredients for my entire menu. So here is what I'm using today. A lot of these are grocery staples, I feel like, for a lot of us. And for the Annie's vegan cheesy rice, if you don't have access to that or don't want to buy it, swap it out for just some regular rice. I am using it because I had it on hand and I included it in my cost because it's something I really wanted to try. But again, you can make swaps for anything that I'm sharing here today. Let's jump into the first recipe, which is 3 simple ingredients. I use some sweet potato, some extra firm tofu, and some yellow squash. Squash is super in season here, so it's very inexpensive. And it's one of my favorite vegetables, so I've been using it a lot recently in my meal preps and in my dinners. I first peel my sweet potato. I don't like sweet potato skin. It's just not my favorite thing. So I peeled and chopped them into bite-sized pieces and threw them in my oven at 475 degrees for about 20 minutes. And I put the squash and the tofu in a separate sheet pan, so that way each thing would cook accordingly. I feel like the squash and the tofu match up the best when it comes to texture and how I like to cook them. And then the sweet potatoes do take a little bit longer. So I like to get them into my oven right away before I chop my veggies and my tofu. And this citrusy garlic seasoning from Trader Joe's is really, really good. It is like orange peel and garlic and just a bunch of really good seasonings. And I really love it on sweet potatoes, and I actually used it for everything on this day. The second meal is also 3 ingredients, and I'm using some zucchini squash, again, super on sale right now, super in season, some carrots, about 2 pounds worth, and then I got this vegan cheesy rice at the clearance food store, and I wanted to use it just to try it out for some kind of different inspiration. You can also use regular rice, and that would obviously be cheaper. I peel my carrots and save the peels to make veggie broth. Again, it's just one of those personal preferences. You don't have to do that. And then I shred my zucchinis and my carrots. It's super easy, plus it was a really great way to bulk up the rice. If you're using regular rice, you could do the same thing. I cooked all of this in a large pot on the stove. Instead of using the 2.5 cups of rice that the recipe called for on the back of the box, I used 3 cups of rice, but made it the exact same way. I put my veggies into the pot, then water, then my rice and my seasonings, and I cooked it for 20 minutes, popped a lid on it and let it sit aside, and it was perfection. I feel like this is a really good way to almost hide veggies in your meals because it all had the same kind of texture as the rice, and the rice kind of took on the bulk of the meal, even though there was mostly veggies inside of it. I'm a veggie lover, so I don't need to hide my veggies, but it was just really good. I feel like the seasoning packet really added to the meal. That was obviously the main cost. Instead of seasoning it myself, I was kind of paying for the cost of that seasoning, and I really liked it. It was something I would try again. I would definitely do cauliflower and maybe even broccoli with it, because that would be really good. Carrots and zucchini just kind of tend to be my jam, but this was really delicious. And while this cooked, my tofu and sweet potatoes and squash were in the oven. So this was all done in less than 45 minutes, cut, chopped, prepped, put into containers, and dishes washed. So I feel like that's really good. For $10 and 45 minutes, I had 8 meals for the week ahead. And these meal prep containers actually just got, I'll link them down in the description box below. They're from Amazon. I needed some, and I'm really wanting to do glass containers, but with my lifestyle, it just doesn't work out well. A plastic, you run through them so fast. I feel like they're easy to lose, they're easy to forget, but also like they crack, and if you're on the go a lot, they just wear down faster. But I feel like I'm not in a place where I can use glass containers because I'm always on the go. So if you're looking for some really inexpensive meal prep containers, I'll leave these down below. But here is the cheesy rice. I got 4 servings out of that, and I feel like this is a really good large seasoning. It's about 2 cups total of food. And then I went ahead and just kind of eyeballed the servings for the squash and the tofu and the sweet potatoes. And this was my favorite meal of the 2 because I love roasted tofu, which is a little bit crunchy. And I feel like for this meal, it warms up really well if you have an air fryer. So that's what I did. I threw it in the air fryer to warm it up. And then the cheesy rice, I just popped in the microwave or ate cold because I don't mind that either. I feel like these meals look very fall-like because of the colors, but the orange is kind of pretty, and then you have a little bit of the yellow and the white. It kind of looks fall-like. You can add any kind of seasonings you want to these. These are just made for inspiration. I share what works for me, and then hopefully I can inspire you or give you a meal idea to use as well in your repertoire. So if you make any of these, I hope you tag me on Instagram. I love seeing that you guys are inspired by the meals that I make. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one very soon. Make sure you follow me over on Instagram at Miranda Running on Plants, and let me know if you try any of these recipes. Tag me on Instagram when you do, and I'll share them in my stories. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.